Hey everybody, welcome back to MACkite. Thanks for checking us out. Today we have some new Waydoo accessories. I'm Jake.
And I'm Dustin.
And we're going to give you our first impressions with the new Waydoo wing and folding prop. Okay, so we just got the new Waydoo gliding wing right here in, as well as the folding prop. We've been waiting a long time for this little bad boy, so we were super excited. One issue, it's currently winter here in Michigan. The lake is not frozen over, which is epic, but it's like 0.5 degrees above freezing over. So we sent Pat and Dustin out to try these. Because it was so cold, rather than doing like a test Waydoo that had the standard setup and then a Waydoo with the front wing and the folding prop, we put them both on the same Waydoo and said, let's just go for broke because we got to get this review in before we freeze to death. So Dusty, you took them out. What did you think?
Right off the bat, the gliding wing was super fast, insanely fast. You need a little bit more speed. Normally I can get up around that 8 or 9, somewhere around there on the remote. You need a little bit more speed, probably around 12 to 13 with this guy to get up and moving. But once you're up, oh my gosh, so fast, insanely fast. So yeah, right off the bat I noticed the speed. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was driving by, stopped by, and you flew by like a freaking race car driver, which is interesting because the name says gliding. I wasn't seeing much gliding. I was seeing speed. What did you think? Did you experience that sensation of glide? We did have a little bit of waves. I don't know if you guys were able to back off and ride, or is this more speed?
I would say more speed. Again, I need a couple more sessions on this to really, warmth is the big key here before I can get a good feel for it. But right off the bat, I would say this is more of a speed wing than a gliding wing, which, some people absolutely love. So, but when I was able to hop into the waves, the folding prop, amazing. Just let go of the trigger and you're in, just pumping along. So cool.
So let's really quick go over the wings here and then we'll look at the props. So you'll notice this table's rather cluttered. As we talked about this being either a glide or a speed wing, we figured the most prudent thing to do would be put the existing other Waydoo wings on the table. So right here, there's a little call out on the wingtip. This is 776 square centimeters, which makes it the smallest in terms of surface area of all the wings. Here we have the Propeller, which has previously been their intermediate higher speed wing. That's 1,070 square centimeters. And then the big boy, the Explorer, which is generally what we recommend people start off with because it has such early lift, that low speed control and stability. This is 1,640 square centimeters. So this big boy is almost double, actually is more than double the square centimeters of this. We can obviously see this as far more high aspect. Honestly, I just don't know if there's enough surface area there for it to be a good gliding wing. We need to session on it more, but I would be a bit hesitant to sell it as that maybe to somebody unless they were a lighter weight rider who was looking to do some gliding and pumping.
For sure.
I do think there's still a place for this, but maybe our impression is more of like a high performance speed wing, right? You can see with these little wing tips that it is going to lock in a bit more and be trackier. So I could see some really cool carves out of this, or in bigger surf if you had a lot of push.
Yep.
Then maybe you can experience more of that glide. But flat water, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, maybe not so much. Definitely going to be for more of the advanced rider. Kind of the average Joe like myself is going to go for more of the Propeller wing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited that Waydoo has a new wing out. And they have some more race wings, so I can't wait to see what those are like if this is what their gliding wing is. So great job on that, Waydoo. We want more accessories, more wings, and we'll get to the folding prop, which we think you killed it on. But honestly, having ridden this, I would probably go back to either the Explorer or I would look at that Sobfoil adapter that we created to use the Moses Sobfoil wing line. And there you get some actual glidey wings, I feel. The $8.99, the $9.99.
Perfect, yep.
So awesome. So Waydoo, if you're listening, maybe give us that. That's all we want. I do think this wing has a place. I just don't want you guys purchasing it thinking you're going to be pulling off the trigger and doing a lot of pumping and gliding, because I'm not quite sure that's what this wing is meant for, despite the name.
Yeah, I think the Propeller is going to be a better option for that pump and glide right now for what they have to offer. But again, going back to the Sabfoil, that $8.99 is what, you know, if you're looking to get into surf and pump it around, that's going to be what you want.
I will say the fit and finish is quite nice, and it feels good in my hand. You know, like a boomerang.
Yeah.
Or from the new Black Panther movie, when they come out of the water. This seems like one of those kind of aquatic weapons. But I digress. So we'll just put this right over here on top of all of those, and you guys can kind of see how it stacks up as we fit it in there. So the folding prop, much more exciting, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. That was a little guy. We've been waiting a while for this. Pretty simple design. Dusty, what is the reason for using a folding prop? What do you get from it?
Yeah, so you guys are able to pull into waves and really just let go of the trigger and be fully propelled by the wave itself. You know, do a little bit of pumping, and then once the energy from the wave runs out, pull the trigger on the Waydoo and just coast back out, pulling right to another wave, and yeah, super sick. It gives you that full-on surf feel.
I'm personally super excited to try that. We did pull out a traditional Propeller as a comparison. So you can see this one has the 3 blades versus the 2. No folding action. We don't want to snap that off versus this, which is very satisfying. It's like a little fidget toy. But let's talk about the shroud. The folding prop does not have a shroud, which makes a lot of sense when you're thinking about it, because this is going to cause a lot of drag. But what does that mean for you, the rider?
Got to be a little bit more aware of safety. This guy is free spinning in the water, unprotected, so you got to watch out for those toes. Anybody with super long hair, you know, down to the floor, got to look out for that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm still going to try the folding prop. I'm pretty sick, and maybe the performance makes it totally worth the trade-off. I think for new riders still, I would recommend something like the shroud if friends, family are going out.
Definitely.
You know, I know times where I've just been getting on the Waydoo and fired it up a bit, and it's nice to have that enclosed. So I would say this is probably, even though it's going to be an accessible accessory, it's probably meant for the more intermediate to advanced riders.
Definitely.
Just because of the risk of danger.
Yep.
And maybe you wear booties or something, or a wetsuit, just something to help protect you on the off chance. I mean, eFoils have had folding props for quite a while now.
Right.
I just think it's something to consider.
Yep, I think you're gonna need a little bit more juice to get up and going with it. So just keep that in mind if you're not getting up on like your normal speeds, you know, like me, like I said, 8 or 9 is like that magic number. But I think you're gonna need to boost up to probably 11 or 12 with this guy to really get up and going.
So again, we are gonna do a follow-up when we have more time on the water with these. We just kind of wanted to give you guys an overview. So let's start with the prop. What do we love about it?
It folds.
It folds, it's awesome.
So sick, awesome in the waves.
Yep, I agree. That was something that was long overdue. I'm super excited. I think the only con I can see with it, well, 2 cons. It'll take a little bit more speed to get going on the low end, and then you do just want to be cognizant that there's no shroud.
Yep.
It also does take a bit of work to get off. How Waydoo set up their, how they built everything is they used a pretty high degree of Loctite, so that is really torqued in there. So you probably want to pick up some spare Loctite, maybe go a step down if you are going to be interchanging parts. As you're riding with that vibration, the hardware does tend to back out. We've encountered that before. So their solution is to really glue it in with that Loctite. And you can run the risk of stripping out your bolts, which isn't a big deal. You just need replacement bolts. So if you are switching, step down the Loctite and just check the connection more frequently, right?
Yeah, every couple sessions, yep.
And then with regard to the wing, I think there's lots to love here, but it's for a rather specific rider, maybe less glide, more speed and performance. You would agree?
Totally agree. I would say, you know, if this is a little bit above your comfort zone, I think that Sabfoil would be right up your alley.
So anyway, guys, that is our first impressions. Again, we're going to ride these more. If we find that we are totally off the mark, we will delete this video and you'll never know what we said. Just kidding. We'll update it and kind of fill it in. I would expect probably more riding March, April, May when it gets a little bit warmer. We got a nice storm coming, so don't expect anything soon. Waydoo is coming out with more accessories this year. They have a lot of super cool things. So expect further updates in regard to all of that. And we look forward to seeing you guys out on the water. Thanks for checking us out as always.